Hello and welcome back, Squirrel Nation. Today we're diving into some diamond level gameplay on Joker. This was submitted by our brand new community member, Captain. This is just a quick rundown of the Arcana and a general Joker build I would use. What's used in the game is slightly different, but Joker is one of those heroes who I think has a bunch of viable builds, and I will actually be publishing a infographic later that goes over like 3 different very viable builds for Joker. Anyways, for the video, I have 3 main points to Captain. It is last hitting and efficiently farming gold in general. Also, don't chat, just turn off your chat function in the game. And the third and final point is knowing when to end the game. This was not something that Captain personally does poorly. It's more just his team had the chance to end the game, but they didn't, and then they ended up losing the game. Anyways, with that said, let's dive in. Okay, here we are diving into the gameplay. Starting out, Captain is basically just helping more and making sure it's safe. Goes to help invade with Aram. I like it. Nice steal, good positioning in the bush. Everything's looking good. Hopefully they can get back for the wave so they get some of the XP on it. The pathing, I'm not sure why he was trying to go back towards mid there, but I think it was to try to stay away from the enemies. But in that case, I don't really like it just because you already had teammates rotating to your tower with you, and you guys actually would have had numbers, so I'm not sure why you tried to path away from them. But anyways, I mean, yeah, not a huge deal. Nice, you're hitting your rockets. I would have liked you to zone for your Aram a little bit. You had almost full health and she was definitely low. And if you could have created space between her and the enemy or kind of discouraged them from hard engaging on her, she probably would have got away. I know at the same time she was kind of hanging around, but normally what I would do is I would just constantly ping retreat there and I would try to make space. So yeah, that's just something to keep in mind. Let's see, last hitting. Last hitting definitely helps a lot for AD carries especially. Because you are in lane, you're not going to be able to roam too much and steal jungle and such, so last hitting is important. There you actually missed golden experience because you were out of range, and once again you were out of range really for no reason because you saw, or you can see on the minimap that the jungler is actually in your red side, but she was mid. And then also your Aram was there, so it was 2v2, and you actually got zoned away from getting experience. Here, I hope the same thing doesn't happen. Your monsters are mid, but you're positioning towards the bottom of the bush, which is too far away to get the XP. Fortunately, none of them died while you were away. So far, watching your play, I think positioning for you, because of your rank, this is really starting to matter more, is... there are times you're being too passive and you're not keeping consistent damage out. Yeah, typing is probably... I just try to recommend people don't type. I mean, in that case, you're definitely trying to get Aram to do the right thing, but I think you can probably do the same thing with pings. In most cases, just ping retreat, and she should generally get that. But anyways, hopefully... Okay, nice ult, and let's see if you get the skill shots. Okay, and you get the last hits. So that was nice. Nice trade out. Yeah, definitely watching Dragon. Your jungler is going to probably clear blue and then go Dragon, which hopefully is in your mind right now. Nice positioning in the bush so that the Alice does not hit you. I'd like to just see you get some chip and then go clear wave. So see, right now, actually, I'm already starting to see a theme in your play. Is you're missing out on easy farm. So you just missed almost that whole wave, and actually, yeah, you missed all but one minion, and the minion you missed was your ranged minion, which is worth the least amount of gold, and you missed it to let your support clear it because you were sitting in that bush, right? I would have preferred you just clear that wave quickly, push it into tower, and then, you know, kind of poke at the Alice and the Valheim when he finally got back. So there you sat in a bush, you got almost no value from sitting in the bush, and you actually lost 2 minion waves worth of experience and gold. So that's definitely something you could tighten. Good, you do see the butterflies in your jungle with Avira. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so those plays could have been tightened. Obviously, you hit the dragon with one of your auto attacks. because I'm assuming you were spamming your auto attack, so when you got in range of Butterfly, you would hit her. The problem is, the way the game works is that you are actually going to target the thing closest to you, and the thing closest to you happened to be the dragon, so then you just hit that instead. Yeah, you're definitely getting low, but hopefully you kind of do help poke since Aram landed that ult, which is good. Hopefully you're backing. Nice, you are backing. I think that's good. So while you're going back, you're consistently checking your builds and everything. I wish you would check your gold levels just as much as you're kind of bringing up the items to kind of see how you're doing in gold. My guess is that you're reasonably behind in gold. And so yeah, there you did just check it. I saw your gold was 2,000. I didn't see the enemies. I highly doubt you also saw the enemy laners, what their gold was at. So I would say probably look at that a little bit more. Here's another time. You just missed more CS again. So okay, that for me in this video for you, definitely something you can do to tighten your gameplay is stop missing easy CS. Like you're missing, and by CS I mean the killing the creeps, right? And you're missing CS that is right there to have. It's just it seems like you take the CS for granted and you just assume it's going to you're going to be within range or you're just getting it, but you're actually not because of your positioning. So be really careful about that, because that habit is going to put you behind against good players. So good players are going to be making less and less mistakes. And for everybody who's Diamond, if you're Diamond and you're trying to push into Masters, you have to understand that players are getting better and better. They're not going to make all those common mistakes that let you dominate on, Platinum, Gold players, and even other Diamond players, right? As you start going towards Masters, players are very crisp, right? They're taking advantage of all the gold on the map, and they're doing it in an efficient way. So last hitting actually starts to matter, right? Missing parts of your golden experience from different waves is really going to start to matter, because what good players are going to do is they're going to squeeze out that little bit of value. They're going to get a couple hundred gold ahead, which is going to let them buy an item before you can buy that item, and then their power has spiked before your power spiked, and then they're going to leverage that power spike into kills. So you can already kind of see it in this game because of how Captain's been playing, and the enemy team has been playing smart, and they got a couple kills on Aram, and now they're just leveraging their power to just put pressure everywhere on the map. So I know for a lot of AD carries and for a lot of side laners in general that you feel like, oh my gosh, my team started to feed and there's nothing I could do about it. But I want to tell you that there are a lot of times that it is actually your fault. It's your fault because you weren't putting pressure on your lane, which let your laners roam around and get kills on your team. It's your fault because you're falling behind in gold because you're not getting last hitting correctly. You're not clearing waves quickly and then roaming and getting value. So I know it's a very common thing to want to blame other people, but a lot of these times, you guys, you need to look at what you are doing and how that actually impacts the other lanes. So in this case, your teammates are starting a good fight. This is definitely a good fight for your team because you caught somebody out initially. Okay, nice, you do get the pick. Hopefully you disengage because your teammates are low at this point, and to stay in the fight is just going to let the enemies get back into it, and that's good. So your Aram does back out. You do see that Valheim, you flash in, get the kill. Nice. I mean, this looks good, right? So your low people kind of used it to bait. Richter is going pretty hard, but if this ends up in a double kill, that is worth it too. And you missed that rocket, but that's not a big deal. Nice, you're pushing towers. You should definitely get the next tower. I really hope your team focuses it. You have 4 enemies dead. Focus the tower. Okay, nice. And hopefully you're still watching that. 3 of them up now. Nice, spread out. Get the jungle. Hopefully your team spreads out and steals their jungle. Okay, you guys leave them their jungle. So something I like to say is, after you push that tower, the enemies, so 2 enemies were alive at that point. They have to clear that wave, or else their high ground's going to be taking big damage. So that's an easy time for you to go and grab the small jungle camps on the blue side. So if you notice there's 2 jungle camps left, you can definitely get at least one of them and then get out very safely. Okay. Enemies are going mid. I like that you recognize that you're coming. Really, for you right now, you just need to clear the wave and then the lane is safe. So that's what you're doing. Cool. You kill that. Same thing. I would recognize what's happening with my jungler and pick up jungle just to be efficient. So Morin's caught out. He's probably going to die. You can't really get there to help him. Trixie's already there to clear this lane. If I was you, I would be clearing my jungle right now, right? Like, if your jungler gets out of this, I'm shocked. And right now, you and Trixie are kind of just wasting time, right? By this point, you could have killed blue. You could have killed some of those small minion monster camps. And I know where this mentality comes from. It comes from, oh, it's our jungle's jungle, we can't steal it, right? Well, that's true in the early game, and I mean, it would even be true if your jungler was alive, but look how long red buff has been up, right? When you walked back from killing those mid towers, red buff was already up. If you would have killed it and you would have killed those monster camps instead of rotating top to try and help Morin, who was already so far out of position he was going to die, they would almost be respawning by now. And same thing with blue, right? So you have to think about how much golden experience that is. You might be a full level ahead of where you are. You might be another couple hundred gold ahead of where you were if you would have recognized that. I know the things that I'm saying in this video seem a lot different from when I'm talking to gold and platinum players, but the reason for that is because what I was alluding to earlier, as you get into diamond and you want to make a push towards masters, the things that matter become more and more strict. Like, very little differences become more and more impactful. So anyways, I'm just trying to, hopefully you're taking it that way, Captain. I'm just trying to point out things of where you can squeeze a couple hundred gold out of your play, right? And those, if you keep stacking that couple hundred gold, that lead is going to actually let you leverage yourself into more wins. Anyways, typing, I just don't like it once again, because one, it hurts you 9 out of 10 times, and the one time that it does help is just not worth the 10 times that, or the 9 times that it doesn't help. And then also, you're wasting your own attention, and when people type, they tend to be tilted. Like, when you type, it's your way of, like, venting your tilt. But at the same time, I don't like it because it kind of reinforces the habit of tilting, right? It reinforces that habit of, hey team, you're doing things that are wrong and losing us this game, instead of just focusing on how can I possibly turn this game around? How can I win this game? What can I be doing? If you focus on yourself, you are going to win a lot more games, I promise. And nice, you get the auto attack off. Unfortunately, you don't get the full combo off. But anyway, so Captain, so far, to just keep reiterating the points, tighten up your CS. Right, so start killing creeps, putting more focus on the last hitting and that type of thing. And then I would stop typing. Just turn off your chat. That's my recommendation, right? Just literally turn it off. So even if you want to type, you can't. That way you can break the habit of having that mindset of where you're pointing things out to your team of what they should be doing. So anyways, your team is moving around Darkslayer, which I like. There's 2 objectives up. You guys do have a Morin, so I would definitely just be trying to stall for late game at this point, because you're behind, but you're not crazily behind, and Morin is going to become a beast late game, and same thing with you as Joker, honestly, which I'm sure you know. And nice, you guys get a free Darkslayer. That's awesome. I think that was a good call by you and Morin based on where the enemies were showing on the map. And okay, good. You're focusing the support. I mean, you're going to get the kill. And yeah, I mean, she was there, but I would definitely try the targeting a little bit. Ooh, that flash, I'm not sure I agree with that flash. That kill would have been secured without you flashing, and then you would still have flash, and that might come back to bite you later. The Darkslayer is perfect. I love it. The thing that I love about it for everybody listening is you want to drop your Darkslayer right on a minion wave like this. So now the Darkslayer and the minion wave are hitting together, and then, yeah, see, his team's just going to be able to focus on this. Great, you recognize Wonder Woman is on your Morin. You guys blow her up. That's awesome. Okay, 4 people are dead. You guys have to get this tower. Like, this should almost be GG, right? Actually, this should. You have 3 people. There's only 2 enemies. Now there's 3 enemies alive, and you have that full Drake. You guys should be putting serious pressure on the enemy team right now, right? Like, I really hope you don't just... And now it's kind of too late. You lost your window. Now I hope you back up. And at this point, yeah, it's kind of staying too long. Yeah, that Alice is definitely helping big time. So, and now hopefully your team needs to back up. I think you guys could have just ended the game there if your team would have been on the same track, but unfortunately Trixie and Richter were doing their own thing. You kind of got to recognize they're doing their own thing and just pull out. So in that case, what you probably should have done is just go and join the Trixie and Richter, because they were just obviously not going to join you. I know that's rough, but that is what it is. And see, like, here you're typing, but it's like, again, I mean, you're explaining yourself and everything, but do you honestly think that this is affecting any change in your team? I mean, let's think about it this way. For everybody listening, how often have you ever typed out your thoughts or your explanation to a teammate and it's changed their behavior? Right? Like, it's just not going to happen. That's just not human nature. It's not how we work. In anyways, instead of that, there's just so much other stuff you could be paying attention to. You could be using your camera to look around the map, to look at like what objectives are up, where the enemies are located, what the enemy's health levels look like, right? Like right now, based on your camera movement, I don't think you know what any of the enemy's health looks like. But if instead of typing, you are looking at that team fight happening, you might know right now, for instance, that Alice is at 25% health. And if Alice is at 25% health, then this dragon would be safe, right? And same thing with like that Wonder Woman. You would have known, did she have to go back to base because she was so low on health, or is she just lurking in bushes at full health? So those type of things definitely do become important. Ooh, this is risky. I would not want to risk giving their team a dragon at this point because you guys are just starting to come back into this game. And I mean, yeah, you guys aren't going to burst the Wonder Woman super quickly. So that was just questionable play. I need to, so typing again. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to keep harping on it, but right here, like there, this is what I wish you were doing. Watching the fights, right? Bam, butterfly's low. Okay, check Valheim. Check his health. You know where his health is at, right? Instead of typing, I would much prefer you do that. And here, your team just got 4. There's only 1 enemy alive. This should be game. Right? Your Morin should have went mid. 3 of the enemies have 30-second plus kill times, which means at max, only 2 enemies are going to be fighting 4 of you to take the core. So you guys absolutely should have it. And one of the enemies who's alive is support. They're not going to clear. Like Wonder Woman and Alice cannot clear a lane that quickly. If Morin would have went, the game would have been over. So to all you in the lower ranks, if you think that not knowing how to end games is something that only gold and platinum players do, that is incorrect. Diamond players do the exact same thing. One of the biggest flaws in people's game is not knowing how to end games. Like that, right now, Captain should have been just typing GG to his team and everybody liking each other and feeling great that they came back from a bad start. But anyways, okay, so definitely group up. The way this is going, team fights are a big thing. Another thing for you, Captain, is I would practice your camera scrolling because I can tell you're not that comfortable with your camera scrolls. And the reason it really matters for Joker is obviously your ability has so much range and you're more of like a ranged assassin, meaning that you can burst people down and secure those kills at the end. But if you're not moving your camera around comfortably, then it's hard for you to tell if anybody's within assassination range, right? And I'm guessing, okay, same thing here. The enemy should get your, well, I can't tell because this is up, but if they have minion wave with them, which, okay, they don't. So thankfully the minion wave's not there, or else they would have just got your high ground tower. They're probably based on death timers. So yeah, they're still going to get your high ground tower. And see, their team's doing the same thing. Like Valheim's the only one pushing right now. His team is off doing other stuff, but that's good. He gets the high ground tower. Hopefully he backs out because now you guys are spawning. And typing, same thing. Be checking Valheim's health right now. Wonder Woman's health, they're on the map. Nice. You do skip over after you're done typing. Okay, both of them are at full health. Those are the things I'm looking for when I'm dead, because now I know what's going to happen, right? And you see Butterfly top. 2 of their teammates just rezzed, and you saw 2 are bottom. They're most likely going Darkslayer. Hopefully your Aram is going to rotate over and check that area, because probably whichever your teams gets Darkslayer is going to win. Would be my guess. Whatever team gets Darkslayer is most likely going to take this game because it's just that close. And team fights are kind of going back and forth. You're getting position. Your Aram splits off from the team. That's not good. I would try to follow her. In this case, I know this is kind of one of those things that's hard to hear, but it's better to follow your tank and your initiators than it is to do what you know is best. So in that case, let me give you an example. Aram obviously took a bad routing path. She took bad positioning. I agree with what you're typing, right? The problem is that she is going to do what she was doing, right? She was going to take that path, and you could kind of tell. So if you would have followed her, then maybe you could have got a pick. Maybe you guys could have actually not had a perfect team fight, but you could have had a okay team fight. But the problem is, by going the other way and going to your other group and letting your initiator, your Aram, just walk into the enemy team like that, then you guys are basically just guaranteed for her to die, and then you guys are just going to have a 5v4 fight and most likely lose, right? So that is another thing I would say, hopefully that can help you, is it's not, the best play is not the theoretical best play. The best play is to be realistic in what your teammates' actions are going to be, and then choosing to support them in those decisions. So there, the Aram, I agree, it was a terrible route to take. It was bad choice that she split off from the team, but she was going to do it. So it's better for you to support her bad decision than it is for you to just not support her bad decision and ultimately just lose the fight flat out. Okay, that does it for today's video. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe if you did. Also, it really helps me if you will share this video around so that other people can join the Squirrel Nation and just join our great community we have going on. But anyways, as always, I'll see you all tomorrow, and happy ranking.